This session is about, it was inspired actually. I was in Tampa speaking to teenagers at the Tampa Lighthouse specific to my path to employment and life and in general. And they wanted to know about those awkward moments in blindness, or those embarrassing moments or uncomfortable moments. And they do exist, and how I dealt with them, or just that to know that I felt that way at times. And I was telling them stories, and we were talking about dating and other things. So I told them the story about dating, and during my low vision days, and taking a female to the movie theater and going into the movies, and then I couldn't see anything in the movies. So I would memorize, how many rows in. And I remember going out and coming back in. I left to go to the restroom or get some more popcorn or something. And I come back in and I count how many rows in, and then I go in and I slide in and I sit down, and I sit on a dude's lap. So that was uncomfortable. But I've had those moments even before any training, even earlier on in high school, dealing with my vision loss, and where I couldn't find my friends once I came back into the movie theater, or before any training, and how uncomfortable that was. Because I didn't want to be different, but I didn't know those strategies that I know now, and have that training, and you feel isolated and alone. But there are also those funny stories, like I was at my in-laws' house out in West Virginia, and my wife and I were do the dishes often, and when there are family gatherings, and I stepped away to use the restroom, and then I come back, and I thought Jen was still at the sink, and I go to reach for where I think her shoulder would be, and because I hear someone at the sink, and I reach for the shoulder, and I end up with my sister-in-law's, one of her breasts in my hand. She had a shirt on, obviously, and such, but my face turned all kinds of red, apparently, and they bring it up often, and I find it quite amusing, truthfully, because those moments happen. I was reaching for my wife's shoulder, and I found something else. Those mistakes, and they happen, and when Jen and I were first dating, our first date actually, we were at the movie theater, and we were talking, and no, we weren't at we were at a restaurant called Taste of Asia, eating sushi in Huntington, West Virginia, and there was this, and I had some vision at that time, and very little, but I had less than 1% or something like that, a couple degrees at that. And she was standing with a window behind her, and the light was coming in, and I was looking towards her, but the light was bright, and I may have had my head down a little bit, and she said she thought I was looking at her chest for a good portion of the date. But and I didn't know that until a couple years later, but quite amusing. And I wasn't, obviously, but those funny and awkward moments, and 99% of our interactions in public are positive. We also make those mistakes, and that's natural. And even the best of skilled people who are blind make mistakes and have those awkward moments. And I think it's important for young people who are blind, or people who are just dealing with vision loss, to know that. So we all have those awkward moments. I'm Joe Strecce. I'm a blindness consultant, and I'm a professional who's blind. And you can look for my other videos on YouTube. So have an amazing day.